Morning guys, how's it going? This morning here, working to mix and feed. I got a bale of alfalfa thread in the mixer here. Just heading down to fire it up and get her ground up. Real low that throttle, not too much. Kick the fire take off on. And we'll rev her up. About 1500 RPMs there. That's actually a fourth cutting bale there, I think. It's pretty dry. I know some of them days it got pretty hot and the hay didn't have much moisture to it when we baled it, but it's not a big deal. We're feeding, there's some first cutting and fourth cutting there, I believe. The first cutting tends to be a lot longer. You have more weeds in it. So that's how you can usually tell the difference between the two. I didn't bring them bales down, so I'm not quite sure, but we feed a bale of first cutting and a bale of fourth cutting each day. Let that grind up for a little bit. Dad's working, scraping around the bunk. I fed the calves here this morning earlier. Don't have too many to feed. Moved a bunch up to the heifer farm yesterday. Moved a bunch out the pasture this week. My dad and Pap did a bunch of heifers, so makes it nice. Don't have quite as many to feed anymore, but yeah, we got all these pens behind the barn to clean out here sometime. I guess I can work at doing that here while Dad finishes scraping. Got a good bit going on here today. We didn't start planting yet. It's still pretty cold. It's decently cold this morning. There was full moon last night, and there's always a saying that we always go by it. Never really plant anything till after the full moon in May, because we still have frost till that time. Now I believe we might have frost after that, but our chances are lower now compared to, you know, before that first full moon. Last night I had worked at cleaning up this 5140 a little bit, and that thing was caked with mud. Got new king pins we want to put on it, so that's what we're going to work at today after we get the feeding done. We're actually going to be feeding corn silage up on the hill here this morning. You got the rest fed across the road. I want to get that bag cleaned up there on the hill. It's a 300-foot bag. So after that bale gets ground up, go ahead and head up there and finish out the rash and get the dairy cows fed. This here's corn silage from this year. It's really good stuff. Our nutritionist actually said it's testing just as good as BMR corn silage would be. It's not BMR. Dad's bringing the mixer down off the hill. It's kind of nice feeding up there in the morning. You get a view, just looking around. You're up top there, but it's not the safest coming down over there, I would say, but just gotta be a little extra careful. Get the conveyors on when he comes and get the feed in the bunk. thing and the bale forks. Didn't have the right parts to get them kingpins fixed up. Actually, it wasn't the kingpins, it was there was a bushing in there that was wore, so we'll have to get that. But right now, I'll go ahead and wash the tractor up, get it looking a little better. In case we have to get out in the field with it, it's usable, but we'd like to get them front end fixed up first. I got this tractor cleaned up here. It looks pretty good compared to what it did look like. It was just caked in mud. Kingpins, if you're not aware, there's a piece here, like a triangular piece, and then they have a piece that sticks down in there. It'll sit down in the, get down through the hub like here, into the axle here. And then there's ones on the bottom too, but they're tapered. They're rated a little bit different than the top ones. They both need those bushings, both sides. There's a good bit of play there. It's actually causing the tires to wear funny. We got some BKTs that come in for that 2294 there. It's got BKTs on the front. We're getting some put on the back, and then 2290 eventually it's got any new tires put on it because the sidewalls are starting to get pretty bad on it. Those ones on the 2294, I bet they're pushing 20, 24, 25 years old because they were new whenever that tractor came here, and it's been here since 98. So yeah, Firestone, they last a long time. But them ones on the 2294, they're definitely, wouldn't buy them again. They're a bias tire. The other tires are radial, and they sure don't ride as good as a radial does. I went through the engine here and got it cleaned out good too. I'd like to clean the hydraulics up and stuff. This tractor we get put on the disc bind whenever we mow cover crop and alfalfa. We also plant with this tractor, so I like to get it cleaned up, not only for the looks but for how it's gonna operate. Don't need that overheating, because when there's a bunch of gunk and stuff caped on the lines and stuff, it's not gonna cool right. So especially on the side of the motor there along the frame on the block there, it's not good for it. So it also just looks a lot better whenever there's not a bunch of mud caped on it. We always run it during the winter time with the loader on it, so it's kind of hard to keep it clean throughout the winter. You know, you got temperatures below freezing, you can't get through and wash it every day. It just doesn't work like that. I don't know if it's cleaned up to suit a crop farmer, but it sure is cleaned up to suit a dairy farmer. This afternoon here, I want to work at cleaning these calf pens out. once we get the pens moved out of the road, they're actually pretty simple to move. I just get the pallet forks on the skid loader and pick them up and move them. But after we get them out of the road, just come through, scrape this area off with the skid loader bucket. Turned out to be a really nice day today. It was really foggy this morning. It's like the first nice day we've had in a long time where the temperature reached, but it's in the 70s right now. It's really comfortable outside to be in a short sleeve shirt. Last weekend, Friday through Sunday, we gotten like 7 inches of rain total. So we were really dry there for a while, and then after we got that rain, ground it's really saturated now. So I don't know, depending on the weather, if we can get in the fields this week or not. Hopefully we can do that, because the rise, I would imagine, starting to shoot head. Whenever we checked it, it was getting pretty close, but you can't just go in and smell it off and rut your fields up. It's just not worth it for that kind of crops. Yeah, you like to try to get that rye before it shoots head, because after it shoots head, it starts to mature, and then the feed value drops really fast. So if you want to get the best feed value out of it as possible, you have to mow it off before it starts to shoot head. But especially around this time of the year, it's pretty hard to get a good harvest window to do that. But it'll be heifer feed, so even if it starts to shoot head, we'll still mow it off and bale it. But we'll see how things pan out for us here. Hopefully this week we can get in there and get that done, and then we'll no-till corn in whenever the ground gets fit. But yeah, other than that, we haven't done much field work at all, just hauling manure and did a little bit of chisel plowing there, and that's about it. So I got the wires moved off those 4 there. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop them out, and then I can move calves in here later on. I know this machine here is really filthy. It's gotta need a bath here soon. I had went through and changed the oil on it I guess it was last week, and did a full-on service, hydraulic filters, fuel filters, whole 9 yards. Got that done, but it just needs a bath. So sometime here it'll get a bath, but maintaining it's a little more important than keeping it clean. At least I think so. Just got finished up with milking there and got the calves fed. Had to bed the free stalls up there before milking, so I had gotten them pens cleaned out. I didn't film any of that, but I gotta set them in place now, move them a little bit, that way we can have enough room to get in between them to feed them grain whenever they're bigger, because they got the buckets on the side of the pens. The buckets on the stock panel is what we give them milk, and then we water them out of those buckets, but we put the grain inside the pen, that way it doesn't get wet. So I'll get that done and throw the side slinger on. Got some sawdust there, I'll bed them pens up, and then Dad and I gotta move them calves there. there should be. I think she looks pretty good. Other than the marks on the hood here that got scuffed up whenever the loader got put on. And that takes you off. But this here's got to be a little bit more than sanding out and repainting, I believe. I don't know why when they made these tractors they put fiberglass in the front. Well, that stuff just gets so brittle and it just breaks. And if they want to use body filler on this here, wouldn't look half as bad either. But I don't know, someday I'll have to get through, sand the whole hood down, and looks like it's cracked there too. I don't know, but I'll have to get through, sand her down, and get her shining again. Alright, that's gotta be about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, smash those like and subscribe buttons down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it's making cover crop, but we'll see what the weather has in hold for us. And I guess you'll find out next video. See you guys. Have a good one.